All right, hey, we are live. Welcome back to the live show, Friday evening here at the Kill House, joined again by my esteemed colleagues, Mr. Big Randy.
Namaste.
And Mr. Tron Carter.
Konnichiwa.
And a special visual guest today. He was here last night too, but Christoph, DJ Pi, is also joining us on camera.
Yeah, happy to be here, guys.
Great. We also want to call out Schwab.
Tron, scoot in a little bit. Sorry, I should have said that earlier.
Okay. Well, Schwab, now
There we go. That looks
TC's
great.
on. Schwab, obviously the title sponsor of the
Say
tournament.
Say it again.
Schwab.
All right.
You say it.
Schwab.
And the sponsor of this live show had a big raffle yesterday, continuing to raffle off some things. TC, what can you tell us about that?
Big raffle. Actually, a gentleman from Fort Worth won the round with us.
LaDainian Tomlinson's brother.
Really?
Yeah.
For real?
No, I think it was Brett Tomlinson. But
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, who could say?
Yeah.
It could be.
We don't know if it was or not, right?
Could be.
But yeah,
Well, a treat either way for
it's
us,
still
either
going
way.
on all weekend. Just go to schwabgolf.com. It'll redirect you to the raffle site. And I think we raised like it was like a 10 grand NLU bump last night.
Well, thank you everyone for
So,
getting involved.
thank
That's
you.
awesome.
You guys are very generous people.
Great to see, and check it out again. And you know what? There was a glaring omission from yesterday's live show. Do you guys know what that was?
The credits. Everybody, I was walking out
intro.
in the world today, and they said, "Sir, we didn't have any opening credits to the live show yesterday."
But not tonight, baby. DJ, cue the credits, and we'll be back with you in a second.
Whatever happened to predictability? The milkman, the paperboy, evening TV. You miss your old familiar friends, but waiting just around the bend. Everywhere you look, there's a heart, a hand to hold on to. Everywhere you look, there's a look of somebody who needs you. When you're lost out there and you're all alone, a light is waiting to carry you home. Everywhere you look, everywhere you look, you can right out.
Well, I'll tell you what a treat that was. Mr. Pi.
Oh, big hand to Mr. Pie.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah, that was
thank you for that.
unbelievable.
That means
You
a
know what?
lot. That means a
And
lot.
Bryson.
It was a layup.
I'm sure Bryce. I think we should send that to Bryson. I think he would really appreciate it.
Can I be honest? I am still flabbergasted that video exists. I don't think it didn't hit me yesterday. It didn't hit me until really going through it frame by frame, just how bonkers that is.
Well, the bacon and
Watching Fox News.
the Fox News scene. There's a lot of Easter eggs in there.
It's a whole cachet of content.
him just watching the lightning, standing in front of his dark house,
The
like watching
convertible.
the lightning go.
I mean, it's unbelievable, and also, he's doing he's cleaning up the garage. It's a lot of stuff we've done around the Kill House. So, anyway, I thought we were gonna start things off today with a little analysis from these two idiots, but then we decided we might as well just call the guy that played in the tournament.
There it is.
Mr. Zac Blair will be on the phone with us here in just a second.
Oh, cheers, Big Randy.
Oh, yes, good sir. Zach, you're on with Big Randy. This is Neil, and you got Tron Carter and DJ. You are live from the Kill House. How you feeling?
God, what an honor to be a call-in guest. This is great.
Well, it's an honor to have you on, and we wanted to get a first-hand perspective. Boots on the ground at Colonial. Sounds like you golfed it a little bit today. How are the course conditions? Let's start there.
Yeah, course is in good shape. Greens are really soft, but still good. Rolling nice, getting a little faster each day. But it was perfect. The weather was really nice today. Can't get much better for scoring conditions. So it'll be interesting to see how it changes, if at all, the next couple of days.
Z, you are even on the horrible horseshoe thus far. Is it really that horrible?
Yeah, it's not good. I made a couple of good saves today on, I think, 3 and 4, and it's tough. I mean, that's about as tough as the 3-hole stretch as it gets on tour.
What's the hardest bit of it? 5, like that drive on 5, or
Don't lead the witness, TC.
I don't listen.
It's a really good stretch because 3 and 5 couldn't be, but like they're so different from each other. You have to hit a tight draw on number 3. That tree's kind of in an awkward spot. For the bunkers are a kind of a diagonal carry, and we kind of had a tough wind today where it was in off the left. So it's tough to get that ball flight with all of that going on. And then luckily the last couple of days we've had a really favorable wind on 5 where you can kind of just throw one out to the left and just kind of fade it around the corner. But it's cool to see, different shots, kind of shot shapes that those holes require. And then with the greens being as soft as they are, though, it's like, everyone's throwing darts from everywhere. I mean, Harold was hitting something, in the 200, 220 range into number 5, knocking it in there to like 4 feet. So it's, I would like to see him get a little firmer, but it is what it is. It's pretty hot out here. You can't get these bent greens that much firmer or they'll die.
I can only imagine, you probably did your homework on Neil and I's experience playing the horseshoe last year. But you mentioned you played the last 2 days with Harold Varner. Obviously, he's tied for the lead. Talk about his game. Impressive, especially bouncing back from that triple bogey. I gotta imagine.
Yeah, honestly, today was about as impressive as a round I've ever seen from anybody from him.
You're not prone to hyperbole either. That's a big deal.
He had a. Yeah, I mean, it was probably the best round I've ever seen in my life. But honestly, it's just a tough break on one. He kind of pushed one right, and it actually rolled down the cart path into the middle of the bridge, which we all assumed he would be getting a drop from, and the lines like extended, I guess, from the hazard, and the bridge was in the hazard. So he was right in the middle of the cart path.
International waters, I guess.
Exactly.
Unreal.
Trying to figure out.
Was it poorly marked, or was it just like that's how they always mark it?
It was one of those things where it's like the line stopped, and then so we were like, does it keep going, or does it go like under and around, or what's the deal here? So we called the official.
You calling Slugger?
Yeah.
Who was the official?
Yeah, Slugger. And
hell yes.
Yeah, and honestly, I felt like he could have hit the shot. I mean, looking back on it, I'm sure he would have probably hit it if he could have played it over. But it was definitely not the start you're looking for when you're leading the golf tournament and on a hole where it's a 3-iron, 9-iron type shot. But that was an incredible bounce back. He kind of got a couple back pretty quick on 12 and 13 and 14, I think, too, maybe. But he's playing really good. It was interesting to see his style of play compared to Scotty.
Smoking Scotty Scheffler for those at home.
Who's 3 under?
Yeah,
TC's pick this week.
How impressive is he?
Yeah, he's just a complete different animal. I mean, just doesn't hold back. I mean, he hits some of the most incredible shots, and you can just tell he's so talented and so good. And then he just sprinkles in here and there just some shots. You're like, what the hell was that? And
it's like he totally loses focus, or just.
I don't even know what it is. I think it might be one of those things. He's so good and has all of the shots that sometimes you just get trying to be too perfect, maybe. But I mean, he kind of like it reminds me of Phil Mickelson a little bit. He just hits the most spectacular shots, and then he'll hit a shot off a tee ball or an approach, and you're just like, wow, that was just so much different than the last hour. But so he was just bombing it over some of the bunkers and hit flip wedges in. Like, I mean, Scotty hit the longest drive I've ever seen on 6 today. I mean, he had like I would love to look back on Shot Tracker.
I'm looking at it right now. Let's see.
He had probably 60 yards in, and the pin was 30 on. I mean, he crushed one on 6. And Harold hit 4-iron off the tee and hit, I don't even know what he hit in, probably an 8-iron or a 7-iron in, but it was just both of them hit it to 3 feet. Scotty ended up missing, and Harold ended up making it. But it's just they played very different games, and it was cool to see. I mean, Scotty was playing good. He just made a couple mistakes, but
Zach, for reference, Scotty had 76 yards in on 6. I'd also like to just point out what would you call Harold's situation on 10 on your first hole of the day? Would it be classified as rub of the green?
Rub of the green for sure. Yeah, it was.
It's official. It's official.
Slugger rolled up. Looks like we got a rub of the green situation here, boys.
Christoph has a question for you.
Well, I was gonna ask if you watched any golf this afternoon, particularly some of the lines Bryson was taking, and if you could put those into perspective for us.
Yeah, I'm watching it right now, actually. And, I mean, I saw somebody on Twitter talking about, like, in the Tiger Woods video game when you got, like, the spacesuit, when you were, like, completely maxed out. Like, that's literally what some of those shots are like. So yesterday, for example, the line he took on, like, 14, I want to say, like, it was downwind, pumping pretty good, and it's like, okay, I could see one smashing one up there. Today, like, it's not blowing that hard, and there's like, it's not pumping downwind like it was yesterday, and he's like flying at 335. I mean, it's just like stupid. It's insane. It's pretty impressive to see, honestly, just like a complete transformation like that. I will say, Bryson, I've known him a long time. I've played with him. He's always kind of had an extra gear that he's always hit it really far. But this is crazy. I mean, he's hitting it good too. Like, he's hitting a lot of fairways and everything. It's not just like, bomb and gouge out of the rough. Like,
Which is unbelievable though, because his follow through, it looks like he's saving everything. Like, he's thrashing at the ball. It's unbelievable.
It's the most awkward looking follow through I've ever seen. It's crazy, and he's hitting it good. He's hitting fairways and hitting it like, I saw him hit one like, it was at 370 or something on 11 yesterday. It wasn't even like downwind, and he's just like smashing it. So
yeah,
pretty wild.
All right, ZB, last question, changing gears. Saw on your Instagram that you ran into Scotty, the head locker room attendant. Did you get a chance to chat with him, and how did he do on your dad Jim Bob's loafers?
Yeah, I mean, I sat there and chatted with him while he was doing my dad's shoes. Great guy, always takes care of us down here. I didn't know if they were going to have any locker room attendants or anything like that, so it was good to see him. And yeah, he definitely cleaned up Jim Bob's loafers. They were looking really, really bad. He's got a lot of rounds of golf in those things.
Is Jim Bob there as a coach? Is he your coach?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I kind of got in trouble. Like, he is my coach, everybody knows that. And when I was checking in this week, I was like, hey, yeah, so I got to get my dad, like, one of the credentials. How does it work? He's like my coach. And the guy's like your coach? Well, no, like, he is my coach. And he was like, yeah, you got to be careful right now. I phrased that. And I was like, all right, man.
Well, on that note, before you go, I mean, put it into perspective. Like, what's the no fans, no personnel? What's all that stuff feel like?
For me, it's nothing crazy. We have a couple of guys watching, and I honestly think for most guys out there, it's not going to be anything too wild. But for your guys like your Spieths and your Tigers and your Justin Thomases and your Rickies, Rorys and Brooks, your big names, especially like Spieth going into the weekend leading, this place would be insane out here the next couple of days. So that part is pretty weird. But I mean, once you get inside the ropes, it's all kind of, it is what it is. Maybe not as much kind of vibey out there, feeding off the energy for some of those big names, but they'll still get up and get out, play good. So
Z,
totally fine.
How are the last question, and then I have an idea. How are the strawberry refreshers? There's a Starbucks in the hotel. Are you staying at the Omni?
No, down just across the river, just outside the gate.
Okay, I was gonna say there's a Starbucks in there that you got the strawberry refreshers, but you need to volunteer tonight because it seemed like it went by the wayside today. The mic'd up players thing. You need to basically raise your hand and say, "Hey, I'm in the top 25.
Ooh, that is a good
I want
idea.
you to mic me up tomorrow. Take my vocals.
Take my blood."
Yeah.
There's no way I could do it. I would get. They would pull me off in like one hole.
You get dumped like TC on live radio. Too many F-bombs.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not proud of it, but it is just part of my vocabulary. And I was talking to Scotty about it today. I was like, yeah, I mean, they would pull me after like 2 holes. I'd be like, what the F is going on? How the F did that miss? That's the best effing shot I've ever hit. I mean, if that was okay, I would love to do it. But unfortunately, I'm probably not the top candidate for
You should still volunteer. You should make them say no.
ZB,
I'll
appreciate
contribute
you you hopping on with us. Tell Scotty that Big Randy
Please.
and Neil say hi. We wish we could be out there. Thanks for coming on.
Our best to Jim Bob and White Boy Rick.
All right. We'll see you guys later.
See ya. Play well tomorrow.
Peace.
Gosh.
A true class act.
Yeah.
If there ever was one. I'll tell you what, the guy just shot 65. That's time to come on with us idiots.
He
That's great.
he almost bogeyed 9. He had a mega queef off the tee and then punched out and then got up and down from like 100 yards out.
His take on Scotty Scheffler has ramped up my interest in smoking Scotty.
Been trying to tell you guys.
All right,
Neil, where are we
Neil,
going?
move this thing along.
Yeah.
What's
All right, let's
Come
dive
on.
into a leaderboard breakdown.
You look like a traffic cop. Why don't you start, doing something?
Let's talk about Spieth. I want to throw a couple stats to you guys. Scoring average per round this year. Round 1, he's in 9th.
hit me.
Round 2, first place. Round 3, 170th place. And round 4, 187th place. Thank you to whoever tweeted these numbers out. They were fed to me via Christoph. The question for
why
you
gotta
guys.
do that, man? Why we gotta bring Jordan down today?
My question.
You were the one that tweeted it earlier.
Wait till I finish the question. The question is, what brand of glue is holding Spieth's game together, and will it hold this weekend? Or is this real, and is he back?
I think the brand of glue is Greller glue. Greller Gorilla Glue. And yeah,
So he's back. You're in.
back, baby.
You don't think he's band-aided, duct
I mean,
taped,
he missed one
glued
fairway
together?
today. Like, and it's not like
Did
he's
you
hitting
see
wide.
where he was getting up and down from?
Only on the last few holes.
Yeah.
Only on the last
Yeah,
few
but
holes.
what about the last couple rounds? Like, doesn't that start to compound over time? When
No, I feel like
it
he's
gets a
making
little more-
progress, man. He 4-putted and then he birdied like 2 or 3 of the next holes right after that today. No scar tissue. He's back, baby.
I'm thrilled by how he's driving it.
Yeah.
If that goes away, then yes, we're gonna have some mega troubles. But and as long as that's around, I think he's gonna putt it great. He obviously hits his irons great.
He's hitting the wedges really well.
It feels more real than it has in the past.
I mean, shit, he birdied 5 today.
Well,
Yeah,
that was after the 4-putt on 3 and then the apathetic bogey on 4. I'm just saying, I'm just trying to balance out the Spieth love a little bit.
So Gorilla Glue and Elmer's, I'm not sure I can name another glue brand, but
DAP, there's DAP. It's like really intense.
That's like the housing
construction
glue.
glue.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
They sponsor a
Shout out to the DAP Championship.
yeah. They sponsor
on the Corn
a
Ferry Tour.
They sponsor an event on the Corn Ferry Tour.
That was that company?
Yes, they're a glue company and caulking. They like big
they
and caulking.
no longer have the DAP Championship.
I know, but that's a
Cleveland,
glue, that's
right?
a glue company.
Yeah, Canterbury.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I tried to work with them when I was working at Google, but they didn't want to do it.
What my take presupposes is maybe Jordan has no interest in scoring well on the weekends. Have you considered that?
This is Please
interesting.
elaborate.
Scotty Scheffler clearly does not. He does not like
Yeah.
to play on Saturdays, so he just says, "I'm not going to play well."
I think Jordan's enough of a class act where it's like, you know what? It's the old thing, like, I'm not going to eat until everybody else eats. So, obviously he uses the first couple rounds to show, the skills are there. But on the weekend, it's like, hey, you guys go first. You take the win. I'll be back here.
Clearly, Bryson needs to eat.
Yes. So I think he's completely back. I think he's never left. I think he's still probably the best player on the planet.
All right, there you have it. We'll give Randy the last word there. Let's move on to Bryson. Guys, do you think the ball goes too far?
Well, for sure, but I don't
We're
know.
on the record.
That's not just Bryson specific, though.
Okay. How about his drive on 18? Randy, you and I were watching that together. Can you walk us through that one?
He didn't have less. He didn't have more than 100 yards into a par 3.
Par 4.
Into a
That
par
would be
4. I don't know. Can you remember? Like
I think he had 60 yards in, 70 yards in on 18. It looked
on
like
18, he had 99.
on the shot tracer, it looked like he missed literally the planet, and it ended up in the fairway as the fairway tends to
it's
veer to the left.
it's so dumb.
You've
though.
been to Colonial. You've stood on that tee.
Yeah, and the fairway goes to the left.
He's what he's doing. Do you guys want to?
Yeah, if you guys need to hash that out later. What's that?
But here's I'm gonna get out in front of all this Bryson stuff and
Okay.
say, if you're hitting 95 to 100-yard wedges into every hole and you're not winning golf tournaments, you stink.
Oh,
That's a
I like
serious
that.
thing.
Well,
I
I
like
think that
that.
brings us to Rory. Rory played pretty well today. Shot what, 63?
63. I'd say pretty well.
So I don't. You tell me.
So you tell me.
I know you're riding high because Ricky missed the cut, but
Bogey double to miss the cut. I mean,
I feel like we need to, if I may, I feel like we need to stick on Bryson for just a second.
please.
Because we hadn't really talked about, Zach touched on it a little bit. Some of the lines that he's taking out there, it's what we were talking about in the preview, where everybody talks about like, oh my gosh, Colonial, man, Mr. Hogan and Trevino, it's such a shot maker's course. You got to really do all these things. And Bryson and the Rib and JT and all these guys are, I think that's what makes Colonial this specific year so interesting, is that you've got a mix of both. You've got, the like Brandon Grace is on the leaderboard,
Like, there's
but
some
also
holes you can't
Bryson
do that.
Bryson has flip wedges into every
Well,
hole
it's like
too.
ZB's talking about tight draws on 3, and I got to hit a nice fade on 5. Bryson literally isn't thinking of any of that, right? He's just going over it doesn't matter. So that's it. It's tough to compete with.
For sure.
So let's go back to Rory though. So Rory, it felt like a slow burn all day up the leaderboard. Every time I looked up, it felt like he was disappointed, and then I look at his final scores at 63. Did you see Rory's A game today? If not, should everybody be terrified? If he's throwing a 63
you need to ask
on the board?
Randy.
like no.
No, you're not worried.
So if,
He'll
if
finish
he-
in the top 5. It'll be
if
a
he
comfy
shot
top 5.
63 without his A game, then how can somebody be dead and they're shooting 63 without their A game?
Because he won't win. He doesn't win.
Well, that's not
Well, he
necessarily
won,
true.
right? He
does
won
win.
some tournaments.
He
Yeah,
does
he won
win.
some
He's
tournaments.
not the
win.
tournaments you wanted
Yeah.
to win.
If I could make
Yeah.
your case for you,
Please.
he may win at Colonial. I don't know that he's winning at,
Yeah, he might. And that's part of the
Isn't
problem.
Your whole
is
thing is majors, right? Isn't
well,
that the whole
that's where
point?
it started.
He
Sure.
bogeyed his last hole today too.
Yeah, you can't bring like the is he dead argument to Colonial necessarily, because sure he might win here, but what for a guy like Rory? What does that mean?
I don't know. He's showing up here for the first time.
First
He's never
time.
played here before. Like
Yeah.
that seems like kind of a good performance.
Maybe.
All right, I want to touch on
sicko.
Harold Varner. ZB gave us some great insight there, but I'm curious, how does it feel to you guys when you open with a triple? What usually happens?
Here's how it looks.
It feels, it's not. I wish I could say I didn't have much experience with it, but the way I look at it is it's really not a triple. It's really a double, because when you got that comfy 5 in your mind to start things, it's like, oh, it's only 2 worse than that. So it's really only a triple is really only a double for me.
Well,
Also,
in
you
his-
haven't been to a driving range in like 9 or 10
In his
years.
interview-
So that is kind of your
Right.
driving range.
I thought it was he had a good perspective, which was, well, it's okay when you're playing well and you triple the first hole. I never thought about it. Maybe I'm never playing well.
Yeah,
but
that
it's
was
like,
wild.
oh yeah, then I know I'm going to bounce back because I'm playing good.
It's also helpful when you birdie 4, 5, 6, 7, and 9 coming in.
Listen, that is very helpful.
It also
why.
depends on if it was a comfy triple or not, because
It was
How about
it was a fluky triple.
How about the international
Yeah.
waters thing?
That was
Did
unreal.
you know that bridges were out of in the hazard? I didn't realize that was.
I'm disappointed he didn't play it.
Which
but
so these guys are getting drops from everything in the world, but the guy's ball lands on a bridge.
Yeah, I
and
know.
He doesn't get a drop.
But it's in the
It's
hazard.
in the hazard. I
It's in
get
the
it.
hazard.
Yeah, it's in the
Yeah,
airspace.
What do you want? What do you want?
I think I'm kind of team rules official on that.
Yeah.
one,
Yeah.
actually, because if it would have kept rolling, like if there was no bridge there, it would have been wet.
Yeah.
But there is a bridge there. Like you could say the same thing. Like if there wasn't a grandstand there, like
But the bridge is in the hazard.
All right, moving on. Let's jump over to the Corn Ferry for a second. TC, can you give us an update?
Oh, God, TC.
Who is bucking on the Corn Ferry right now?
Ben Coles.
How about that? He's getting the NLU bump.
Well, the people don't even know about the NLU bump.
We may have some content coming out next week
Now,
with Ben
well,
Coles.
it's a preemptive bump.
So we got Scott Langley, Lee Hodges, Lee Hodges played really well up at Sea Island
course.
last week, so he's in
course.
form. Paul Barjon, the fiery Frenchman, I think he's from French Caledonia. or
Fiery
something like that.
Francophile.
Ben Coles, Christopher Ventura, the Norwegian who went to the same high school
I
as
think it's Christopher.
Christopher. Okay.
No, I'm just joking.
He's on.
Christophe Ventura.
He's on my Fred X Cup team.
And then this guy, KK Limphaset. He's a Thai gentleman.
Couldn't tell you much about him.
Never heard of him before. He's also tied for the lead. Friend of the program, Chase Wright, is chasing. Nick Hardy chasing. Will Zalatoris, Theo Humphrey,
Wasn't Theo Humphrey your boy from Vandy?
Vandy, yeah. His dad's a nutcase, I guess. We got Justin Lauer, NLU young hitter, currently T16. Some of the other NLU young hitters did not play well today, missed the cut. Our buddy Curtis flamed out today. Tough scene.
What did he shoot?
He shot, I think he was 6 over, 6 or 7 over. Big news of the day. Wee Kim went out, shot 81-76. I thought it was a lock for DFL. No, it turns out Dom Bazzelli went out and shot 80. They tied for DFL at plus 17.
That's
Okay.
huge.
Huh.
If I could, we're hemorrhaging viewers on the Corn Ferry.
Okay.
On the Corn Ferry.
We're going to the
update.
speed round next. Don't leave us yet. I got some good stuff.
But before I was gonna say, we've
No.
TC has been the only one to bring him up. He's been woefully underappreciated this week so far. We got to talk about Morikawa.
Well, no, that's in the speed round.
Oh, I didn't realize that. Sorry.
Okay.
Well, Xander's. So Xander's. There's the thing in here about Xander being the forgotten man.
I moved it to the
and
speed
you were
round.
about to skip over Xander.
Well, no, I knew that one was in the speed round. But all right, let's just go to the speed round.
That's why I'm running
We're
the
all
ship
over the
here,
place.
TC. I got the playbook. I'm working it. Okay. Speed round. More disappointing miscut and performance. John Rahm or Ricky Fowler.
John Rahm, unequivocally.
John Rahm for sure.
Okay.
You know, like what is he defending champ here?
No.
Who
No,
That's Kevin Na.
Nas, but he's won here.
But he
before.
has one here.
Yeah.
who finishes higher on the leaderboard this week? Xander or Morikawa?
Morikawa.
Who could say?
That's
Pick
a real.
one,
That's
Randy.
a Sophie's choice for Randy. Two elegant golfers.
Such elegant games. I want to compliment both of them for having elegant
Who do you enjoy
games.
watching more? Xander or Morikawa?
Xander's dad.
Alpha.
I want to see more Morikawa, so he's got my eye right now. So I'll say Morikawa, sure.
Okay. Does Bryson skip leg day? Yes or no?
No.
No.
I saw a lot of resistance stuff
Well,
on the upper
no,
body.
there were some people
in the intro.
climbing into the Twitter comments saying that you skipped leg day back in college.
No, that was my roommate Jerry who's slandering me. That's bullshit. I was in the squat rack every Tuesday. Find me
you
in the
said you
squat rack.
refused to squat.
That is bullshit. I'm also a power clean enthusiast, or used to be.
Was that a
Moving
rider
on,
in your Columbia
moving
football
on.
contract?
I got a real
No
question
squats?
for you. Is Bryson on steroids? Yes or no?
Whoa!
Let's.
Allegedly.
Do you have an allegedly screen, DJ? Can you throw up an allegedly screen?
Also,
I could, but I'm
nobody
not
does
going to.
steroids anymore.
Okay,
We're on
performance
the,
enhancers.
19
Allegedly.
steps beyond
Allegedly.
steroids.
The only thing I'll say is if
We already
like,
hemorrhaged viewers. It doesn't matter.
if a star athlete came back like 40 pounds heavier and was like crushing the performance, I think that'd be a natural question. But I don't know. He's not that dumb, right?
So he's gained, what, 40 pounds in 7 months? Since November?
It's really
Ish.
hard. It's so hard.
That's very hard to do. Moving on. Is DJ dead or just on life support?
Not me.
No, not our DJ. Not
Dustin.
Christoph. Dustin Johnson.
He's on live support. He'll be dead if he doesn't win a major this year. I'm already
Randy,
on the record.
how do you
saying
feel
all this.
about watching his game today?
It's terrible. He stings.
TC, how do you feel about your boy?
I'm not ready to declare him dead
He's coming
yet.
at your boy right now.
Not ready to declare him dead yet.
Okay.
He's a generational talent. You can't count on him to play well coming out of a 6-week break. He's probably been hanging out on his jet skis.
Okay. All right. But do you think he's on life support?
No.
Okay. Fair enough. Seemed like guys were making a mess on number 9. Randy, I know you don't care about this question, but do you love or loathe this hole? TC, I'll let you answer that one.
I love it. It reminds me of number 9 at Muirfield Village, but without the elevation.
Do you think it fits the course?
Yeah, because I think the drive is pretty demanding. I feel like more guys have had trouble with that drive today than almost any other one on the course.
There were some wild shots over there. JT basically hitting it out into that other tee box, and there were
Rory
some
was
wild
struggling
ones.
to make
Rory
par.
too, yeah.
He made like a 12-footer for
So
bogey.
many guys, like that's like Ian Baker Finch pointed it out today. That's where it matters if the grandstand is back there. I mean, shit,
Yes,
last year
I
when
know.
we were watching,
watch people hit it into the
we watched Wyndham
grandstand.
Clark go 40 yards
It's-
over the grandstand.
I would say to the viewers out there, number 9, there's some drama waiting on the weekend. Watch out. Something to see, Randy. Maybe you should pay attention. All right, last question.
Oh,
Who is
God,
the
give it to me.
most forgotten man on the leaderboard right now? First 2 pages of leaderboard.
TC,
Daniel Berger.
the Burger Man.
Oh,
T7.
good
I don't
pick.
think I've seen a shot of his yet, and I don't know when he got good again.
We don't know. We don't have an
He was-
answer.
He was so
we have
good.
no idea.
And then he didn't. And he basically lost his card a couple years ago, and now he's back. But
Wild.
I don't know when this happened.
Randy, what do you got?
Jordan Spieth.
Forgotten man?
People forget he's the best player alive.
Interesting take, but I'll allow.
No
DJ?
love for Xander. I haven't heard Xander's name like one time.
I know.
He's
I
two
think
off
it's
the lead,
Xander
and he's one of the best players in the world.
Bubba. Bubba's
Yeah.
I mean, guys, Brandon Grace
Both
just shot
sniffing
66,
around.
66.
Is that the Mackenzie Hughes?
He just did a Mackenzie Hughes, but it wasn't on the weekend.
Oh,
I got a quick fire question for you.
yeah.
hit me.
Who's gonna win?
Spieth.
No, not Spieth. For sure, not Spieth. I think Spieth will choose not to win. He could win, but he won't. I think Rory's gonna win.
What you just told me he wasn't. You're
You're a
unbelievable.
moron.
God, you are such a shock jock. You know that?
Neil?
I was gonna take Rory, but he just stole my thunder. You know who I think Justin Rose is still lingering.
I got another question.
Lingering.
This is for the host. Are you nervous about your defiant, enthusiastic comment that Bryson for sure will not win this week?
We're monitoring the situation. Yes.
What's-
But my take on Bryson is he's trading short-term gains for long-term problems.
So wouldn't
if
that-
What if he doesn't
Point to-
care about that?
Wouldn't
then
point
that's
to-
that
He's
is
a supernova.
a very interesting way to go about things. But
Who DJ? You know who sang? It's better to burn out early than what's the song?
It's better to burn out than fade away, I think.
Yeah.
I don't. It's quoted by everybody.
well,
Who
we
could
were
say?
DJ
Maybe
and I
Kurt
were
Cobain?
watching. It looks like Gary Woodland's
or Jim
lost,
Morrison or something. Maybe I don't know.
Gary Woodland's lost like 15 pounds, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm doing this strength training program. I feel lean. I feel great.
Well-
It's really going to help me play all these tournaments over the next 10 weeks. Like he's going to play like 8 of 10 tournaments."
Rapid fire question for you. You're Roberto Castro, fellow
Yes.
ATLian,
Former
said,
Fred X Cup member that never really wanted to get involved, but yeah,
Former first pick in the FedEx Cup draft.
that's right.
What's
the
up,
number one
Rangers?
overall of.
Michael Olowit candy style pick.
Yeah,
He said Bryson 35 yards ago. Bryson was, I'm paraphrasing, but he won the USAM, the NCAAs, and however many tournaments he
was a generational
won.
talent already.
and that was 35 yards ago.
yeah.
So
But you're missing the second part of that tweet, which was barring an injury, everybody better watch out. And that is my take, is that I worry that he's going to get hurt. That's all I've been saying
Right,
this
but
whole
before
time.
he does, he's going to win a lot.
Yeah.
That's been my take.
That's
Okay.
It's basically the J Day. Like J Day won a bunch before.
well,
Also,
then
I
we're
should-
going to find out. And if he wins, it'll be great drama, and I'm going to watch every minute of it, and I will happily. You guys can shower me in Shartsky, okay? You can shower me in Shartsky.
I should say Neil Randy real quick. It was Neil Young, of course. I don't know how we missed that.
Yeah, come on.
Real quick, I'd like to
Casey.
acknowledge Phil Mickelson missed the cut. Can't wear their shades and miss the cut.
Can't wear the shades.
A lot of guys like Tom Lehman shot 65 yesterday. Currently outside the cut line. There's some late cut grinding. The fact that the PGA Tour doesn't have a feed that just goes to guys who are trying to make the cut.
Like a red zone-esque
It would
feed?
be the best thing on a Friday, like a Friday evening at between 5 and 7 p.m. Like, are you telling me that you wouldn't watch that?
Especially on a day like this where like all the good scores are pretty much in. There's not a lot of drama at the top of the leaderboard on a sleepy Friday afternoon.
You currently have Ryan Moore, Harris English, Bernhard Longer,
Ooh, Harris English.
Tom Lehman.
Picked by who?
Me.
Yeah,
DJ
Randy.
Pie.
yeah.
How about shout out
75-1.
shout out
Okay.
shout
Okay.
out Max
You're gonna shit on my Chez Reavie take, then I'm gonna shit on your Harris English take.
That's fine.
shout out Max Homa, 3-putting 18 to miss the cut.
Sorry, Mac. I don't know why he's doing that to you. Max.
Oh no, that stinks. I feel I'm gutted. So are you gonna get us out of here?
Well, play us out. DJ, can you play us out with the Bryson intro?
No, it's too long.
No?
Let's just end
We'll
it.
post it on the
We'll post it on
interwebs
Twitter
for
so
the
everybody
people.
has it.
ZB potentially playing with Sung Jae tomorrow.
That'd be great.
Yeah.
All right. Well, listen, everybody. Thanks for putting up with us. Thanks for joining us. We'll be back tomorrow, live from the Kill House. Signing off. Neil, Big Randy, Tron, and DJ. Thank you.
Crack on.